Dear ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for joining us. We are honored to cooperate in this event with the most honorable speakers. Thanks to Frère Ergosoma Pongo for the inspiring tools, to AWE, Noel and Trex, and May, thanks for making us move. Later on we will share a short exercise with you too. And last but not least, thanks so much to SER, Heike, Josephine, Katharina, for your most valuable inputs. We will talk about the empowerment of women through indigenous knowledge and earth-friendly best practices. At Ergosoma International, we see the United Nations as a global forum to empower women globally, to promote healing and resilience. Our vision is health for change. Ergosoma is a complementary healthcare method. We are active in various fields in public health care, have been doing research on the impact of Ergosoma, and are active in various projects. These pictures were taken in Nepal, and let me tell you what we did there. An important field of the Ergosoma healthcare program is coping with post-traumatic disorders. On these photos, you can see our team of Ergosoma volunteers in the mountains of Nepal with participants who lost their houses after the devastating earthquakes. They suffered from several symptoms of shock and trauma. What we did was to offer repeatedly daily treatments over 7 days. And there is another Ergosoma best practice I would like to mention, just to give you an idea of how we work. In this picture, you see the helper team of a cultural center for migration in Germany, actually in difficult times as PTBS, because of war, is omnipresent. The refugees at the center suffered from deeply rooted trauma. Even the extremely good qualified international helper team that you see in the photo was very, very exhausted. The helper team needed help. Therefore, one of our Ergosoma trainers teaches them how to empower themselves with meditations and exercises. They were trained 12 months and got certified as Ergosoma practitioners. So just in case you have any questions, please write into the chat and please add your email address. We will come back to you later. Before we will hear more about Ergosoma Healthcare, let me now introduce to you another partner of Ergosoma Foundation, the founder of Dularia, Dr. Shamishta Dattagupta. She is a coach and facilitator, hello Shamishta, and has worked for over 20 years as an academic and researcher. She experienced the Ergosoma healthcare method herself. Please welcome Shamishta Dattagupta.
Thank you, Anka. Thank you so much for everybody's beautiful presentations, and I'm so honored to be here among such amazing facilitators of lifelong learning. I'm speaking from India today, and I'm going to be presenting our very humble and yet very loving project called Dularia. And let me start by sharing slides and images. Dularia is a word in the indigenous tribal language Santali, and it means created through love. And this love is the love that binds all living beings on the planet. My work with the Santali tribal community started with the children, where I was volunteering in a village school, and I discovered the immense talents of these children. Here you can see one of the children in a drama theater piece called Circle of Life, and how they connect with nature and how creative they are. At the same time, the children are facing very dramatic realities. Their parents work as labor most of the time. They come from very poor socioeconomic backgrounds. Many of them are laborers under very dire conditions, for example, like in this coal mine, or they work as laborers on rice farming fields. Now, this doesn't look like a terrible situation, but if you think of the fact that their feet are dipped in harsh chemicals the entire day, and this causes skin rashes and many other problems. This is an issue. These people don't own much land, they do not have much rights to change things. There's also an environmental aspect to the disaster that Dularia is surrounded by, and that is the fact that groundwater is being used up at alarming rates. This is a beautiful picture of the children playing, but at the same time, the harsh reality is that this water is coming from several hundred meters deep, and this is actually a disaster for the environment because this is water that is otherwise used by trees and by forests, and this is just going to lead to drought, and the short-term thinking is a massive problem. So before starting Dularia, for 4 years, an observational process led me to discover that there are severe health hazards being faced by these people. There's environmental degradation. There is also one thing, I work as a coach and I was doing several workshops with these people. And I realized that despite a tremendous amount of knowledge and talent, there is a lot of lack of confidence from being told so many times repeatedly that they are not worthy. And there's also lack of opportunity. So Dularia was created with 4 cornerstones, and these cornerstones are education, environment, empowerment, and enterprise. And I'll be sharing a little bit more about all of these 4 aspects very briefly. We are based on permaculture principles, and these core values that we have are earth care, in the sense every decision we take, we ask ourselves, how is this going to affect planet Earth? Nothing with earth care can be done without people care. These two are so intricately linked, so we always ask ourselves, how is this going to affect our community? And finally, are we being fair? Is what we are doing affecting the broader community, organisms on the planet in a healthy way through fair share? So we started off as a group of women, and we are led by Saraswati Murmu Baski, our beautiful indigenous Santali lady, who is a very powerful woman. And we have Abhinanda Bairagi here, who is my team member. And there is Kodam, who actually unfortunately left us, but still is there in spirit. She was married to a village nearby, and that's where we discovered also social aspects of what affects our work. And that, of course, is me a few years ago. We also have some beautiful women who come from the local villages and engage with us and learn at every step with us and teach us at every step. When we started, our land was a piece of land that was actually donated to me by my parents. They are here in the audience today. This land was devastated by rice farming, by cultivation, which is basically violence towards planet Earth. 20 years of violence let the soil get so degraded and cracked that there was not a single earthworm to be seen on the entire plot. We applied permaculture principles. In this case, we did a contour map of the plot, and then we had to dig with a JCB. The soil was so hard. Here you can see me together with my co-founder from Israel, who donated his valuable time to design something called a swale and bund system to restore the ecosystem and hold rainwater, most importantly. You can see the situation of the soil when we started in January of 2018. Actually, this picture is from February 2018. What we then did is we said, okay, what is an abundant resource in the surrounding area, which is actually a waste product, which even the poorest of farmers can have access to? And that is basically rice straw and rice husk and burnt rice husk, which is sometimes called as biochar. So what you can see here is that we filled this swale system with this waste products, and we covered the soil with these elements, and we also started planting nitrogen giving plants like moong. And the amazing thing, you look at this hill. This is in February 2018, and these are our beautiful women who have learned with us and worked with us the entire way. Notice this particular hill, the exact same hill a few months later in July. This has now become a green oasis full of snakes, birds, crabs, insects, earthworms, most importantly. And just a year later, it turned into a mini forest all on its own without us planting a single tree. This happened because what we did is we restored the capacity of the soil to regenerate itself. And within 2 years, this is what it looks like. It's a mini tropical forest. We are planning to plant something like a forest garden. This is what the indigenous community has. They are, gatherers basically, and there are many medicinal plants that we plan to plant, edible plants in different layers. These are, an example of how we can use a small plot of land to produce a large amount of food and also restore the soil and restore the ecosystem. This is the design of our plot. We will be, an educational system. So we've been talking about lifelong learning over here. And lifelong learning is really about resilience for me. So here we can see that, the system has been so resilient, it's come up, and it is going to be an educational plot, a demonstration plot where we will show alternative forms of rice cultivation. We will have buildings that are built completely regeneratively. I'll show you examples in just a moment. We'll have a forest garden on the entire plot, and also we will grow vegetables and have a pavilion for learning. So let me give you an example of the way in which we've been building. The indigenous community has a tremendous talent for building and building with natural materials, but this is being lost at a dramatic pace and being replaced by cement and concrete. So what we did is we actually took waste products of the cement industry. These are bags of cement which we collected from all the surrounding buildings, areas where they're being discarded and turning into microplastics. Our community of women, we collected them, we cleaned them, we filled them with soil from our plot, and we built a building which is called an earth bag building, which is one of the most resilient buildings without using a single drop of cement. And here you can see what the building looks like at the very end with this beautiful indigenous art, which is otherwise getting lost in the area. We also have been upcycling something that is a massive problem, which is alcohol. And you see all these alcohol bottles, what to do with them? They're just being thrown away. So what we did with the women is we learned how to put them together in mosaics and make this kind of beautiful mud building with bamboo and mud. And you see this beautiful stained glass effect that can happen. So this is empowerment through doing, empowerment through learning, empowerment through design and fun. As I mentioned, rice farming is a real major way in which we hope to make a change. And we are right now working on regenerative practices of rice farming, which are going to be, restoring the quality of the soil, bringing back the soil ecosystem, as well as providing economic opportunities for our women when they learn how to grow in this method and transition from methods that are extremely harmful for their health, for the health of their children, for the health of the consumer, as well as the health of the environment. And so what we're going to be using is a combination of microorganisms that can restore the soil as well as biochar. And finally, we don't keep this knowledge, as I said, to ourselves. We are a learning and education center. These people who are farmers from the surrounding area are invited for free workshops where we teach the value of the ways of natural farming, of restorative, regenerative farming compared to the kind of farming options that they see and that they have at the moment. And one of the most beautiful, touching moments of Dularia was this very courageous woman. She's Turki Soren. She stood up in front of everyone and declared that she has had enough for herself, for the rest of her generations. She really has made a pledge to transition to natural farming. And she was 3 months in hospital with a near fatal disease that she thought she was going to lose her life from as a result of the toxic forms of rice farming, way of farming which empowers her next generations. So what you can see through Dularia is that healing and miracles are possible through working with nature, through working with indigenous wisdom. And this plot of land got transformed into this beautiful oasis and also this beautiful community with this lovely girl child who was born to our manager family, Saraswati Baski and Jitu Baski. And that is little Onali. And we really hope that little Onali's future will look different than those of all the generations before her. Thank you so much for listening, and I'm open to answering questions.
Thank you very much, Shamishta, for sharing. And we are really looking forward to our continuous exchange on traditional healing techniques. There's one question from the chat. How do you organize women's leadership in your organization, and what is your role, and how are the women in the village organized?
So that's a great question. Thank you for that. The Dularia is very self-organized, actually. One of the ways in which we do things is that we actually don't do a whole lot of meddling. A lot of things happen on its own. And the women are invited to come and engage with us. Some of them engage with us as daily workers, and some of them have engaged with us completely as volunteers. The incredibly surprising thing about Dularia is that I actually don't live there. I don't micromanage on a daily basis. It's completely led, 100% led by our community and the members themselves. And they are truly empowered from that perspective because they come on their own, they volunteer, they're not even paid a salary, they're doing it because they feel aligned to the work that we're doing. And we hope that they can gain an income through developing their own ideas of micro-entrepreneurship. That's how we organize things.
Great, thank you so much, Shamishta. We are really happy to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anka. And thank you to everybody for those beautiful comments. And I'm really touched. Thank you.
And I would like to welcome another amazing woman, Monika Volkmar now. She is teaching and working with Ergosoma as the main method in her practice of complementary medicine in Germany for almost 20 years now. She will share with us her deep insight on how Ergosoma helps in a holistic way. Welcome, Monika Volkmar.
Hello, everybody. Yes, as we have just heard from Shamishta Dattagupta, the Dularia project is about to enhance resilience. It brings energetic healing to the land, empowers indigenous women, and creates a new kind of leadership, a servant leadership. Dularia's way of rice farming is a good example for a fundamentally different perspective. The local natural rice farming was lost and poisoned. Now it's restored. It's not just a switch from chemical harmful farming to organic farming. It is a change in philosophy. One is assuming that the land is sick or that something should be added. But they do not add anything, not even organic fertilizer. It's because the land is inherently healthy. And so it is with Ergosoma. We are not assuming mankind is sick. Unlike modern medicine, Ergosoma does not focus on illness or diseases, but on what is healthy and good. Ergosoma is looking for the powerful resources of our inner core. In Ergosoma, we have the philosophy of the inner core. All human beings have a healthy inner core, which is already perfect and whole. It is a healthy core of wisdom in every little cell, which is fundamentally the manual of our whole body. It is a healthy core in our hearts, which enables us to live in harmony and peace. When the healthy inner core is free, then our close surroundings may react more positively and resonate with that higher vibration. The human being with access to the inner core continually becomes healthier, first in the body, then with the environment, nature, and with all our fellow human beings. Unfortunately, the inner core isn't free usually. There's so much negative information we receive every moment, traumatic experiences, bad circumstances, poisoned food, and so on, that surrounds the inner core and blocks it. So it is necessary to clean the access to our inner core to obtain a deeper connection with our inner resources. And this is where Ergosoma starts. At first, the blocked energies begin to flow again. You can feel it as a deeper relaxation in the body, a deeper calm in your nervous systems, a silence in your mind, and well-balanced emotions. In this state of equilibrium, all parts of our body are working together. Left brain, right brain, sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, our glands and all organs. In this state of equilibrium, our perception is very clear and fine, and our intuition may step in. So, how do we work with Ergosoma? An Ergosoma treatment works by sitting on a chair or laying on a massage table, and we need both hands so we can work everywhere. Both hands are used as instruments, and special points of the body are gently, very gently touched. It's a simple method, simple but not easy. To get an idea on how Ergosoma works, let us experience together. I want to practice with you. I want to show you a little exercise. It's called the yin-yang exercise. So we do now. So find a comfortable position on your chair, or maybe you lay down for a moment and relax. I want us to pay attention for a moment. What's our inner state just now? Just allowing your eyes to be gently closed. How do you feel in this moment right now? In your body, emotionally, and whatever you feel, just be aware of it. Let's have a look through our body, the back, the spine, shoulders. Move them a little, relax them, feel your neck, your head. Move them a little, gentle, stretching to the left side, the right side. Relax them. Your arms hanging around at the sides of your body. Feel your both hands, the warmth. We put our hands on the knees, our feet touch the floor. Be aware of your feet, how your feet are in contact with the floor, with the earth. Move them a little bit. And then every time you breathe out, you're sinking deeper into your chair, the floor. Just relax and let go. Your muscles, let go. And is there any stress left over? Leaves your body with every out-breath through your feet into the earth. Now we go a step further to the yin-yang exercise. We begin with the power of the breath and how this power of the breath connects with the power of our heart. And we feel how these two rhythms combine to form a quality of power, new quality of power, that it always, everywhere. And now everybody puts their left hand on the left part of the chest and the right hand on the right side of the belly. Feel the warmth of your hands, your healing power. The left-handers make it other way around. And now let's directing our breath. The right-handed persons concentrate on the right hand by inhale and by breathing out on the left hand. The left-handers, it's the other way around. You focus the left hand by breathing in, your right hand by breathing out. You're always thinking on the active hand while breathing in. It's a passive hand by breathing out. Be aware of your breathing, active hand, in breath, passive hand, out breath, in your very own rhythm of breathing, like waves. We focus on the flow of our breath, the up and down of the belly, the chest. Just bringing the attention to the active hand by inhaling, passive hand by exhaling. Just one with ourselves, our breathing, each and every one in his own rhythm. In deeper calm, from breath to breath, from heartbeat to heartbeat. And now we go a step further. We're thinking the word yin by inhaling and yang by exhaling. Yin, inhale, yang, exhale. Both rhythms comes together. And if you feel comfortable, you can cross your feet to collect the energy in the inner core. And now, when you are ready, come slowly back to the outer world. Feel your center of the body, the stomach area, solar plexus. You can put both hands on it or on the heart. Your life forces are centered now in the inner core. Take a deep breath. Once more, a very deep breath. Come back. And now we put the right hand on the left shoulder. Head turns to the left. Inhale. Back to the middle. Exhale. And so right hand on the left shoulder. Head turn to the left. Inhale. Exhale to the middle. And feel the harmony of body and mind. It is a better coherence of body and mind. Please stay a moment in silence and let a word come up to you. What do you have experienced? Or what is important for you? Keep it in your heart and open your eyes. And if you wish, please share your word with us in the chat so we can share our abundance. Thank you very much for practicing with me. It was a pleasure to work with you. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Monika. As you mentioned, their daily practice is very important, and you can benefit from it on all levels. So we offer a free training online. Please join us this Sunday. It is a possibility to get to know the Ergosoma training. If you are interested, just jump in. So far, we offered this short module of training during the CSW at New York, and today we share it online. You can find the link in the chat. Please copy it or leave your email address or go to our homepage www.international.ergosom.org. We would be very happy to meet you there again. Thank you very much for your attention.